Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Tanya.
Morning, everybody.
Don't you feel like the Walton? Remember the show Walton?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have Laura on the space with us. We have Vicky. We have Terry. Hi, Brent. Good morning. And we are live streaming right now. I think Rachel should be joining.
Hi, Brent. It's Terry.
Good morning, Graciela. There we go. Almost there. Give it a couple more minutes. Let me go ahead and reach out. I'm going to move my other phone away from me because I can hear myself. How do I sound? Do you guys hear any feedback? What was that?
I just heard a little something, but not now.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what that was, but no feedback from you, Tanya.
Okay, that's fine then. I'll just leave the phone here so I can see it. So let me, Rachel should be joining us soon.
That was me. I found some sound effects. Look, I'm going to do a drum roll for you.
I love it. You know, when it first came out, we really liked it a lot. But then a lot of people forget. But it's really fun when especially when you're doing a music space, they have all different noises. So, but it's about 10:03. I'm gonna go ahead and start. Why don't we start and then we'll get to, while Terry's doing the breathing exercise, I'll try to get the rest of the guest on, the panelists. Again, this is a panel discussion about International Women's Day. What does it mean to you? What are your thoughts? International Women's Day is on Wednesday, March 8th. So Emily's going to be, as always, the our moderator. I sent it, Emily, those questions I send you, just some thoughts. You don't have to use them all, just something, you just put in your own words. I just thought that maybe just give it a little outline. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take this recording and cut it all up because I figured out how to do it really fast. And I want to have it all out on March 8th on Wednesday because I already created everyone and their own little video of themselves promoting them. But I didn't want to push it out today. I wanted to wait until Wednesday. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And again, this space is recorded. We are live streaming this space. And if you ladies could please retweet the space and get some more people in here, ladies, men, anyone that want to come share their story and what does International Women's Day mean to them. That's the theme of our conversation today. So again, my name is Tanya Schultz. I am the president of the Association for Women in Communication, the South Florida chapter. I wanted to welcome everyone, and we're thrilled about International Women's Day. And next month, we are celebrating our 114 years of our national. We were founded in 1909, so we're excited about that for being one of the oldest women's association in America. And empowerment starts with us. So on that note, I want to go ahead and introduce my VP, Terry Michael. She's going to lead us into a mindfulness breathing exercise because that's something we all look for Monday. So today is an Empower Yourself Monday episode, but it's going to be about International Women's Day. And it's chatting about what, things that are happening in your life that you think is important. But Emily has some questions and we'll just go around the space. And because each question is to be used later as part of the promo videos that we're running. So Terry Michael, the mic is yours. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Wherever you are, laying down, sitting, standing, take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale. Eyes are closed. Inhale and exhale. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Keeping your eyes closed, relax your face. Relax your jaw. Relax your neck, your shoulders. Let them drop. Visualize the stress going down your arms, out through your fingertips. Relax your chest, your torso. Gently breathing in and out through your nose. Relax your hips. Visualize the stress going down your legs, out through your toes, and you're completely relaxed. Again, gently breathing in and out through your nose. And I'd like you to visualize the air going in and out through your nose. And that's all I want you to think about for the next few seconds. Visualize the air going in and going out. If any thoughts come into your mind, allow them to just float away like clouds in the sky, going back to your visualization of the air going in and out through your nose. And slowly open your eyes. Some closing thoughts. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Mercy is a rare word, one hardly spoken. What are merciful actions? They are not judging another, speaking with kind words, thinking compassionate thoughts about others. May acts of mercy come your way. Namaste. May the divine in me honor the divine in you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I needed that one. Deep breath. Laura, I'm gonna give you the microphone. Laura, I gave you the microphone. If you could just grab it, you're one of our panelists. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the microphone to Emily, our communication director. She's gonna be asking some questions. I'm trying to get a hold of Sherry. Sherry's in New Zealand, so it's like late for her. So she said she was coming. So let's see. And then Rachel is in Africa. She's on her way. And then Vicky is from the UK. Thank you, Vicky, for being here. And then we have Graciela, who is from Central Florida, and Laura, who is also from South Florida with us. And again, I also want to, not just the panelists, but also our board to talk a little bit about what their thought on those questions that I asked Emily. And Emily, the mic is yours. And then when everyone grabbed the mic, could you tell it before we start asking questions, let's go around the space, and if you can give us a quick a minute of intro to yourself, about yourself, and then this way we can start. And then I'll let Emily take over now, so she can ask each person to tell us about themselves, and we can go from there. And then you can ask all the other questions, because I think it's what I'm doing is I'm curating this space, because I'm cutting up all of it up in snippets. So I'm just letting you guys know. Sorry if it sounds so too organized, but I just wanted to make sure that when we finish the live stream, I can cut this up without having to sit there and listen, because everything's going to be timed. So Emily, the mic is yours. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Tanya, and good morning, everyone. So today, as Tanya mentioned, we'll be talking about International Women's Day and empowering women. And we have some incredible women on the panel today. So one by one, as Tanya said, we'll go through and just have everybody do a quick introduction of themselves. Vicky, why don't we go ahead and start with you?
Hi, I'm Victoria Garvey. I come from Cheshire in the UK, and I am a content creator, lip syncer. I don't know, just do everything media basically. So that's what I do, and I do a lot of charity work too. So yeah, when I was there, I knew I was inspiring others. So yeah. That's what I do. Just a quick one.
Thank you, Victoria. And we all know you do much more than that. So we'll delve a bit bit deeper into your background as well as we speak today. And good morning, Graciela. Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Thankful to be here. My name is Graciela Moore. I am Puerto Rican residing in Florida, multiple business owner and life coach and content consultant. I am a toddler mom, and I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, Laura. Why don't you go next? Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Laura, and I am half Italian, half American. I am a business owner of multiple businesses, and one of them is an import and distribution in the lumber business, which is a very male-dominated business. I'm also a mom of two, an autism mom of one of my children. And my background is in communications, in writing, literature, and a lot of teaching. I love, love, love to teach. It's one of my favorite things to do. And one of the great things I get to do with my current job is teach people not only about the different types of hardwoods that we import and sell, but also about sustainable management protocols and sustainably managed forests, because environmental issues are very, very important to me. And that's a little bit about my background.
Amazing. Well, so nice to have met you last week in person, Laura, and looking forward to speaking to you more today. We've also got today Terry Michaels, our VP, who just did the amazing breath work with us this morning. And Terry, if you want to tell everyone just a quick bit about your background.
Sure. I am in the health and wellness business, certified Pilates instructor, Reiki healer. I was the past 5-6 years caretaker for my mom, or caregiver, I should say, for my mom, who just passed in January. But I keep myself very busy running a retreat, which has helped me heal from that, and water fasting, juice cleansing, and plant-based diet right here in Florida, and guiding a lot of people to reach their health and wellness goals. So that's predominantly what I'm doing right now, and working with Emily and Tanya to make the world a better place.
As we do. No. And as you do every single day. So
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. And Tanya, if you want to jump in, as I know you'll be speaking on our panel today too, I hope, and tell everyone just a little bit about yourself.
I would love to. Again, my name is Tanya Schultz. I am the president of the AWCSF since 2008, on and off. Embraced Web 2 early on, and I was a caregiver. I'm now, for the first time, not having to worry about, children caregiving. I'm still caregiving from far away, but I feel like, opportunity is quite a bit when it comes to when you caregive. It takes a lot of time from you, but I feel like now everything, like Terry was saying, we do what we do because we love our family, and we don't look at it that way. And I think there's a lot of things that for women, caregiving and trying to have balance. So, and now myself, I'm getting into Web3. I started a metaverse construction company. Everyone who's fun following me, you guys know I'm a little bit obsessive with the whole NFT and blockchain, that I'm determined to bring Web3 to the norm, just like when we did social media and Web2. So, and again, I'm thrilled everyone's here. And myself personally, I am a first generation Vietnamese refugee, came over here when I was 8 years old, last day of the Vietnam War. It has gave me an eye-opening experience on both sides, from being raised very well off to growing up in America very poor. But, that does not dictate who we are today. So I feel like everything I do, every job I've had, 3 jobs at the same time, has made me who I am today. very gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude, and I'm grateful for my two wonderful board members who has been with me since the pandemic, and we held virtual. I feel like it's such an important time. So again, thank you so much for being here. And Emily, tell us a little about yourself. And I hope I just gave a little bit. I didn't want to like go on and on, but I wanted to share what I'm doing. But Emily, tell us what you're doing and a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Emily Taffel Cohen. I'm the communications director for AWC South Florida, and I'm the owner of Mugsy PR. We do public relations, marketing, events. Lately, a lot of events and experiential marketing. I'm also a children's book writer. I podcast. I own a few Etsy shops. I own everything with my husband. He and I work hand in hand. We're literally together 24/7, and he's my partner in all things in the world, and I'm a stepmom to 4 incredible humans. I can't say children, 2 of them are adults now, so 2 adults, 2 kids, and yeah, and I basically just get up every day and think, all right, like what can we experience today? So I'm a lover of life and new things. And I'm excited because one of my passions, one of the things I advocate for all the time, as any of us do here at AWC, is the empowerment of women and women supporting other women. That to me is the most important thing in this world, because if we don't do it, nobody else is going to, as we've seen. So International Women's Day is a really big one. It's March 8th, this Wednesday, and it's a celebration of women. It's a celebration of how far we've come. And even though there is much farther to go, it is a celebration of the fact that we are creating a more equitable and equal and inclusive and diverse world for women. So we're celebrating all of you who have had a part in that today. And my first question, I always say that being a woman is a superpower. I think there are things that we can do that go above and beyond in this world. And again, particularly when we support one another. So my superpower, for instance, I say as a woman, my superpower is my ability to balance and juggle so many things. I do feel like we can have it all if we schedule it all correctly. And I say my superpower is my ability to balance and be able to do so much. And so my first question to our panel today is, for International Women's Day, first of all, like, what does this day mean to you? Why are you here today to talk to us for International Women's Day? And what do you think your superpower as a woman is? And if anybody would like to go first, you can put up a hand and I'll call on you. Otherwise, I'm just going to start picking people off the panel. So, all right, I'm going to start with Laura. Laura, tell us, what does International Women's Day mean to you?
Well, International Women's Day, for me, in my childhood, in Italy, you get these little tiny yellow flowers. They're called mimosas in Italian, and any male in your life will give you a little branch of these flowers. So that's how Women's Day started for me. And then when I was living in South America in Colombia, it was very much celebrated. And it was a day that everyone would send you a virtual card or a meme or just a message of support. And what it means to me now is, you know, in the US, I feel like we don't celebrate it quite as much as what I've experienced in other countries, which makes me a little sad because it is a day to be celebrated. It's a celebration of the fact that women now can vote, women now can work, women now can ask for equal pay, women can be leaders, bosses, they can run for president. And it's just about giving visibility to women, especially in industries that are male dominated, because I think that if you're not represented, you can't aspire to, or it's more difficult to aspire to certain professions or certain positions if you're not seeing women in them already. So to me, Women's International Day is, yes, a celebration of the sisterhood of being a woman, but also of how much we've grown in society, how much we've grown as a culture in accepting women as they are. So you want to be a sexy woman, you can be a sexy woman, and that's just that. You want to be a professional woman and you don't want to be a mother, that's okay too. You want to get married, don't want to get married, whatever your choice is, I feel like that's where we're going as women, is just empowering each woman to be as authentic as she possibly wants to be. And if that means being a science nerd, that's great. And if it means being a stay-at-home mother who makes videos about different Pinterest activities and making muffins, that's okay too. Whatever your version of being a woman is, that's going to be what I'm going to support.
I love that. That's awesome. And couldn't agree with many of the things that you said more. I think one of the most important things that you mentioned as well is, and being somebody who is female in a male driven industry, I want to delve into that with you. I want to ask a couple of the other people on the panel about International Women's Day, but so interesting how it's celebrated in other countries. And the fact that we really, I mean, it is sad, we really don't celebrate it here. It is not a holiday that we recognize. It's like a meme day sort of on Facebook and such. And we should, Tanya, we should talk about how we can make this into a bigger thing like some of the other countries do. I kind of love the idea of bringing in some of those traditions.
No, I
Well,
agree. It's just, it's kind of fun because the first one was celebrated in America February 28th, 1909.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna make this. We're gonna make a change there. Let's make it a bigger holiday. I honestly didn't realize how big it was celebrated in other countries. That it was more of a thing there. So, you have opened my eyes, Laura.
Can I just say, I was thinking about it in March. Think about how much of a big deal we make out of St. Patrick's Day, and not everybody's Catholic and not everybody's Irish, yet everybody knows that you wear green and we dye a whole river green. And it almost seems like you have to make a holiday commercial and profitable in order to make it count. So how can we make International Women's Day profitable and commercial so that we actually get to celebrate it?
Yeah, that's a sad but valid point. Everything we commercialize here becomes so popular. So yes, we're gonna have to have a meeting on that. How do we commercialize? No, that sounds terrible to say. But how do we make this a bigger holiday will be key. And we should definitely have more conversations on that. And I see, Graciela, you've got your hand up, and I'd love to bounce over to you so you can tell us what International Women's Day means to you as well.
Thank you so much. I personally just love that this day falls in the weeks leading up to spring. It just reminds me of all of this creative feminine energy. And coming from Puerto Rico, my mother was the breadwinner, my mother was the boss. So I grew up with that kind of like boss babe vibe. And it was very empowering despite my upbringing and some of the previous relationships I endured. And so now, as a business owner and a wife and a homemaker, it's empowering to really be in panels such as this one and in conversations like this one, right? But at the same time, the word international really just puts it into perspective as well, at least for me, because we are so blessed on this side of the right on this side of the planet to have the freedoms that we have and to really empower ourselves in the way that we do and do whatever we want to some extent. And so at least for me, this day it just reminds me to put everything into perspective and to think about the women on other countries who don't have the same freedoms. What can I do? How can I send my love? How can I contribute in any way? And at the same time, it inspires me to continue creating, to continue reaching out, and to do my best to kind of live up to my own privilege, right? Because we truly are so blessed to be able to do all of these amazing things, and it really puts it into perspective for me.
Such a great point. Absolutely. And it is so interesting when you do think about it, country by country, state by state, even here, but country by country, the different rights that women have. And as you said, what can we do? What can we do to help make a change there? And that's what we're trying to do, is all make whatever changes we can on the day to day. And I love that you brought that point up. That's phenomenal. Let's see, Vicky, would you like to go next and tell us what International Women's Day means to you?
Yeah, I was brought up in a divorced family, so my mum and dad divorced, and my mum never actually gave me any inspiration, which is a sad part. And so I learned to find it myself, and I don't know, I just look up to others, and I see many people as inspiring to me. And coming from a broken home, it affects you. It really does. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows and stuff like that. International Women's Day is need to be proud and to be who you are, and coming out as gay and just being yourself, and just trying to inspire others. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. Just trying to make a difference in the world.
And today's a great day to celebrate the fact that as women, we can make a difference in the world now too. Because you're right, we've all, every single one of us has been through the ringer, I'm sure. And it does change you, and it makes a difference in who you are and how you think of today and celebrate for today, and who your inspirations were on a day like this. And so I think, I think it's nice to recognize the differences and also the similarities between all of us on a day like today. And I saw, Donica, your hand is up. If you'd like to tell us what International Women's Day means to you, we'd love to have you come on and tell us a little bit about yourself as well. I know you joined us a few minutes late today.
Hello and happy Monday. Graciela invited me here, so I stopped at on the side of the road to speak, but March is beautiful month, and growing up in Albania, it is my favorite month because I'm a teacher, and March 7th is Teachers Day. So I was celebrating the day with my students, and they used to come over to the house. I used to make dessert for everybody to come and enjoy and share that gratitude. So it is very touching. But here in America, they don't do March 7th. And March 8th is Mother's Day in Albania. So they were back to back, and I celebrate my mother. She was the best mother ever. I celebrate my sisters then have become mother. I celebrate my daughter that make me a mother. And I celebrate every mother out there that is strong enough to show through the tears and the struggles and the pain, then life is beautiful, and not to give up. So being a teacher, a mindful and spiritual coach and educator for over 30 years is a blessing to be a woman, is a blessing to be a mother, is a blessing to be a sister and a friend. And that's all I want to celebrate. Every woman has the power. And when we connect with each other, we are solid. We create the ripple effect of power, of strength, and just making a change, better change for our children's future. Thank you, and happy Monday, and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Donica. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And again, I am loving hearing how everybody has honored and celebrated this day in the past. And I do think the new goal needs to be making this a bigger day overall. So that's certainly something we will have to look into here at AWC and how we can do that. Now we've just hit the half an hour mark, so I'm going to move on to another question that I think is important to talk about. And that's barriers in your career due to being a woman. I know we've all faced them. And particularly in more male-dominated industries, I do feel like there's a lot more women in communications now, but back when I started, that was also very male-dominated, and media very male-dominated. Has anybody on the panel faced challenges as a woman in their career and want to talk about maybe how they've overcome that? Tanya, I see your hand went up.
Well, for myself personally, I always experienced quite a bit of it actually. One is I used to work for Toshiba. I sold copiers, and there was 13 sales rep, and I was the only one. I was the only woman. And it was an interesting time to try to like be part of the guys, crew. And I learned in time that I didn't, back then, you have to realize back then, 30 years ago, it was like, you don't really think about sexual harassment as a thing, right? You just kind of, oh, just being funny. Oh, they're telling you this, or, stuff like that. And I've had, I've had a tough life, childhood. I got beat up as a kid all the time because I couldn't be quiet because I was, there's a lot of racism going on, but that didn't dictate who I am today. But I just remember this one. I always remember the sales rep. And we were, when you're in selling copiers, and I had like Winter Park, and then I had to take care of the Orlando Magic, Orlando Predator. Those were my clients in downtown Orlando and stuff. But when you have to take care of your clients and you have to work deals, and then like I remember this one project where I literally got a copier that was a trade-in, and it was like they were going to just get rid of it. And so I had pitched a copier to ABC, Associate Builder Contractor of state of Florida. So they ended up buying a copier, and then the guy that's running it, his kid was like, who was working there, was 17, goes, oh, my high school teacher needs a copier, and she has to pay for all this. And I'm like, well, I have a copier. So I ended up getting her a copier for free. And I said, just put this on contract and we'll take care of it. So I didn't think much about it. I remember coming back to my office. I was just excited because ABC wrote me a really nice, just really good working with me and stuff. And this guy's like, oh, what did you do to get that deal? We've been trying to get that deal. What did you do? Who did you do it to? And this, all I did was, hey, come on, let's go outside. Let me show you what I did. Let me just show you in front of everybody what I did. Let's talk about that some more. And I kind of like, I wasn't embarrassed, but I had to be a guy, the fact that I had to like, oh, you're going to talk crap about me? I'm not going to sit there and cry in front of you. I'm going to go outside and kick your ass. Excuse my French, everybody. But it was, those times that, when you're around, when you're only woman and you just feel, and at that time, all the women that work in the, our area was, they were secretaries. So I made that company give me, pay for my birth control because the women weren't getting it. Part of our insurance. So I try to do all that stuff, but it's really hard back then. Today, I think I'm very blessed because I don't have to deal with that. And I'm very careful about, when I see anything that's not right, and, I'm very conscious about it. But when it comes to back in the day and sexual harassment, it was just a very common thing. The Me Too movement wasn't a thing, back then it was like, oh, the guy's just telling you, this and that. And then I was actually told when I first started out, because, I wanted to be accepted. I wanted people to like look at, but 30 years ago, I wanted to be like, oh, she's a businesswoman. So I just like, I'll go work for Toshiba. But at night, in the evening time, my second job, I was a fragrance model. So I wanted to be accepted. So I remember my sales manager saying, Tanya, get rid of those heels, get rid of the makeup, pull your hair back, do not have your hair curl, and wear a suit, but wear a suit past your knee. That it can't be over your knee, and you have to dress a certain way. And it's hard to cold call in the sunny Florida with a suit, even though I got flats on with my hair. I'm dripping. I'm like drenched. And at that time, I didn't have that much money, so I was like in a car without air conditioning. So, I learned a lot. I hated it, but I learned a lot. It made me who I am today, so that when people tell me I can't do something, I know I could, because if I can sit there and deal with sexual harassment, going to work, after work, I would go out to drinking with them because that's part of what we did. We're expected, part of the social of the company, and deal with the drunken men saying drunken crap to me, and then go and do stuff. And then, I did accomplish what I wanted. I did really well, but actually what I handled was I quit on Christmas Eve because I know my value. They're not going to change. They're not going to be anything. I could have turned around and sue them. They were so terrified that I was going to sue them. Because my other sales manager, who was the son of the, is one of the owners, brother, I think, I'm sorry, it was brother. And he would say, he would say some crazy stuff to me when he got drunk, and it was not really cool either. So I quit right then and there. I quit actually on Christmas Eve. at the bar, I look at them all. You know what? I don't want to do this. I can I get paid a lot more money spraying perfume, sampling to people than it's for me to say, hey, take me seriously. I've taken away everything that represent me as a woman. I want to be like the boys, but if you must still look at me like I'm not good enough for you, then why am I sitting here trying to be that? And then at that time, during that time, Toshiba themselves wanted me to look at Vietnam. This is 30 years ago now. This is 30 years ago. And they said, we're coming out with this little laptop computer that we're going to start marketing to women. And we would love for you to be part of this. And I'm sitting on like, you're cracking me up. You want to empower women. You want to like sell to women, but yet within your organization, the men can't even be, kind or nice or even sweet. So what I did was I left and I learned from it and I kept going. I left and got another job. And then eventually, I have my own job and my own company and I do what I want. But, you have to go through some tough time to realize it. And your worth, that's why I feel like more than ever that we as an organization, Women in Communication, we celebrate 114 years of women empowerment. We have fought really hard to where we are today. We cannot go backward. We need to go forward and we need to embrace each other and be the sisterhood and also, bring the other women up, other women who don't have things that we have, because we do live in a very good life. So I went on that tangent, but if you ask, that's what happened to me. I did experience everything that you can see, everything you can imagine that like dealing with sexual harassment could happen, but I didn't dictate. I'm not a victim. That's another thing too. I'm not a victim. I'm proud, and I've taken the space of where I want to be, and that's what I want to empower everyone else to see.
I love it. There we go. Thank you. She deserves that. Yes, 100%. No, that's so empowering. And I do see some hands up. I just want to very quickly share something that recently happened for me that was super empowering on the level of women empowering women. And I was working really hard to launch a vodka, and I'll tell this story really quickly, but been trying so hard to launch this vodka. And the yachting industry is typically male. And I have been working in that industry for 20 years, and we needed to launch this vodka within the yachting industry. And at the time, there was like supply chain issues, and I didn't even have my bottles of vodka in yet. There were no bottles. There was no vodka for people to taste. There was no website up yet. There was nothing. But I needed to set up events to do a launch. And I probably contacted at least 40 different men within the industry and tried to even just set up a meeting with them. And I couldn't get not one meeting. But I reached out to a few women who were key in the industry. And those women met with me and sat with me and talked to me about the vodka and set up the events with me, sight unseen, like no vodka, no bottle, no website, no anything. It was just full women empowerment and saying, we're going to help you. We're going to lift you up. And we put on 3 incredible events, did an amazing launch. And these women will forever be in my heart because they took a chance on helping and supporting another woman. And I just thought, in such a male-dominated industry, these are the kinds of things we want to see more of and spearhead more of. And I just thought that was an amazing thing after 20 years of dealing with the men in the industry. It was really heartwarming. And now I see, Graciela, you have had your hand up patiently, and I'm going to pop right on over to you. Tell us your story.
Well, I mean, I can relate to what Tanya was saying so much. I started my business life at 19 in sales and transitioned into real estate, which is a male-dominated industry as well. And even right now, here creating content on this platform, it's 70% men. So we are outnumbered just across the board, and it is very overwhelming. And at the same time, it's a process to find that voice or that empowerment. So I can relate 100% to what Tonya was saying. And my journey overcoming some of the things that I encountered in real estate was really all about, the journey of really learning to own what I know and to then self-advocate for what I know and not let people really interfere. And when it comes to team sales teams, for example, in real estate, which is very common, right? You have a broker and then you have the team under it and so on and so forth. It's important to really own your strategy and at least try it for a few and then decide whether you're going to transition into something else. And so it was a learning curve to come from selling things like Avon, which is where I started at 19. I was the 19-year-old Avon lady, to then selling other things and having my own business, and then transitioning into real estate and really understanding what role do I play in a team where I may be the only woman there, and how can I really advocate for myself. And like I shared earlier, I feel like growing up in a home where my mom was the breadwinner and the business owner really set up a foundation of, I can do this, because I grew up in a home where she was, right, the professional leader to a certain extent. She transitioned from being a secretary to managing several branches in the same company throughout her career. So it was very empowering and inspiring to see her climbing up that ladder, right? And so it was interesting. And then when I met my husband, who has been in the real estate industry for over 20 years, and I transitioned from working for myself to kind of joining him and working together, that was interesting as well, because working with your spouse may not always be as, fun as you think it is. And that was interesting to kind of also own what I know and demand that respect and equality of communication, of resources and opportunities, and all of that. So it's been very interesting to learn from all of the perspectives and empower myself in the process.
That's incredible. And I love also everyone talking about not just empowering one another, empowering yourself. That's such a big thing, like needing to empower yourself in the process of all of this. And thank you for sharing your story. And I see we have Rose Horowitz with us. I love talking to Rose. She's just joined us. And I see her hand is up. And Rose, I'd love for you to give a quick introduction about yourself and join our conversation.
Okay. I'm Rose Horowitz. I'm a Pulitzer-nominated journalist and the founder of Woman to Follow, which is a hashtag I created that went viral and is all about amplifying women's voices on social media. And I guess as I've evolved the hashtag, maybe not only on social media, but amplifying women's voices. And I was lucky enough to meet with Emily. I was on a trip to Fort Lauderdale, and we had lunch. So it's always really great to see people that you support. And what I did this month for Women's History Month was to do a Women to Follow Summit. And that was last week. It will be Tuesday, a week tomorrow, and had 10 panelists. And, I guess the way I looked at it in doing this summit to celebrate the month was to look at women in the world and women's rights in the world, like the big picture. And then I focused on a few entrepreneurs who had amazing stories. And then looking to the future with Web3 and AI, and what, how women are leading the change, can lead the change and the opportunities and democratization for women through this new tech. So be glad to welcome. And what I try to do all month, there's a panel happening. Say It Forward is doing a space at 11. I retweeted this one. I think that, for women to have their voices, we need to show each other that we support each other. So that's a big goal of mine in founding Women to Follow, and especially this month when there's so many events to amplify women's voices.
Thank you, Rose. And your summit looked incredible, following along on the hashtag and the tweets and such. And definitely looking forward to AWC being able to participate in a bigger way on your next one also.
Great.
And Laura, we'd love to hear from you. You're in a very male-dominated industry, so I would love to hear about some of the challenges you faced.
Well, I think the challenges we face as women in the lumber industry starts with the phone call, right? So I know in my company at Brazilian Lumber, 2 of our best salespeople are women. They have so much experience, so many years in the industry. One's an engineer, can read blueprints, takeoffs, all of it. And so many times when somebody calls and talks to them, they'll say, "Oh, great. Thank you, sweetheart. Can I now speak with somebody who knows about hardwood?" and it always makes us laugh because we know a lot about hardwood, probably, and oftentimes more than the contractors who are calling us to purchase it. But it just shows that we need to show more women in the lumber industry, more women in construction. And one of the things that I've done to change it personally is to not change who I am. I am a very feminine person. I like to wear jewelry. I like to wear dresses and skirts and high heels and makeup. And I won't change that for the industry that I'm in. I might be more accepted if I didn't do that, but I'd rather be authentic and be who I am and just trust the knowledge that I have and the skills that I have and continue on that way. Of course, I wear a hard hat when I need to. And of course, I wear boots. I love my boots. My Doc Martens are one of my staples in my closet. And obviously, safety is a big thing. If I'm working with hardwood, any kind of jewelry has to go safety wise. But I always just feel like you don't have to compromise your femininity. I don't think I'm saying that word correctly, but for the industry that you're in.
That I would agree with 100%. And I think we are finally at a point in time where that has not only become acceptable, but hopefully becoming more of the norm, I hope. I've seen a lot of big changes, again, like within the yachting industry, within the entertainment industry, going into the exec meetings and such, and some of those boardrooms for film. I'm seeing more and more women who are coming in dresses, in floral prints. I know that seems like not a big deal, but it is a big deal within these industries where there was such a dress code prior and a really misogynistic dress code. So I think any change like this is a good one. And I think that's a phenomenal point to say, be who you are, be authentic. And that's in all things, because the most empowering thing is being yourself. Yeah, I love this. So my next question for everybody, we've got about 12 minutes left. So if anybody has a question they'd like to ask, please go ahead and put a hand up as well.
We have Raquel. Rachel's here too from Africa. I think she's trying to connect. So.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
She has a great organization. I just wanted, I had the privilege to interview her, but she has an incredible organization that I felt that I wanted to raise the vibration for her and also give her flowers, because what she's doing is incredible. Let's hi Rachel, how are you?
Hi, how
Thank
are
you for
you?
being here. I know it's kind of pretty late where you're at.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and also tell us about your organization and what you guys do?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Rachel. I'm the CEO of Spirit of Hope for Women Africa. It's a registered organization, a non-profit organization that empower girls. We make reusable sanitary pads, the washable pads, and distribute them in different villages to different girls who cannot afford buying them. And over 5 years, the past 5 years, we've managed to help over 2,000 girls in different villages, but we hope to reach more girls because many girls are school dropouts, many are raped, many are in early marriages because of these problems. So we are fighting this. Right now, we have over 10 girls that we take care of, and we are hoping to get more support, to get more materials so that we can get what to do, like to make more sanitary pads and help many girls as much as we can. That's all we do, and we hope to move forward with that because we have money to change many people's lives.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate you saying that. Okay, Emily, the mic is back to you. Sorry, we only have 10 minutes left, so I wanted to make sure she was able to speak. Here we go.
And I'm so happy that you did, because Rachel, I will share with you a resource off, I'll direct message to you, but I work with a phenomenal organization. The CEO was going to be here this morning, but they have a big event on Wednesday for International Women's Day. But the organization is called Horizon. I know Tanya, Rose, Terry are a bit familiar with it. We've had their CEO on our Empower Yourself Mondays. But their organization actually works to, like, their mission is to create long-lasting social change for women and girls. And they do grant work and create funds for other women-focused organizations. So I definitely, and one of the big things that they have that's kind of their passion project is ensuring that underserved women and women in other countries and such do have access to menstruation products, sanitary pads, things like that. And so I think this could be a great connection. Happy to put you in touch with them. And for anybody interested, their website is Join Horizon, but it's HERIZON, joinhorizon.org. And they do a lot of amazing work for women and for girls. And they even advocated to help end, they changed legislation in the state of Florida to help end forced and child marriage here in the state of Florida. So it's a great organization. And I will certainly share that resource with you, Rachel, and with anybody else interested. We have about 8 minutes left on our space today. So I would love to maybe have everybody do some shout outs as well to some women that empower and inspire them. If anybody else has an organization they work with, another woman that just has really been an inspiration to them, I would love it if you would come on and give them a shout out. We can tag them when we repost this, and we'd love to spread some love this week. Tanya, all yours.
Well, I would want to do a shout out to my mom, who escaped Vietnam with 4 young kids all by herself in 1975 to United States, and she spoke English, but not that great. We didn't know anything. We didn't have anything. And she kept us going. And we all went on to do great things and great school. So I wanted the most important woman. I when I was younger, I didn't really give her that much flowers as she deserved, because I was entitled. I felt I was so entitled to all the stuff that I didn't have, So I have learned the hard way. And also I've learned that who I am today really is from what my mother helped me become. So I want to give a shout out to my mom, and I know she'll probably be listening later. But she probably won't. But I want to cut this snippet up and give it to her. And I have a very soft heart for her. But especially my mom is a 17 years survivor of multiple myeloma. So I'm grateful for every moment that I have with her. I'm grateful for everything I've learned from her. So now time is worth so much money for me right now that every moment I get, I try to ask her questions about my childhood, about where I came from, and about what she did, and especially working for the American government and all the different things that she did, what life was about like during the Vietnam War, all those things that I would never know if she's gone today. So I'm grateful for the technology that's keeping her alive, for the stem cell and all the different things that's just keeping her alive, and she's able to travel and spend time with her family. So the one woman that I want to do a shout out is to my mom, and another woman is my adopted grandmother. If I ever had a chance to, those are the 2 women that I would love to have dinner with. The 3 of us together having dinner and talking about, that's what I would love to have. Thank you.
I love that. That's beautiful. And your mom is, I'm sure, going to be reduced to tears when she hears you speaking of her like that as well. It's a beautiful tribute. I see Donica has her hand up. Donica, who would you like to shout out today?
Well, as every woman, I want to give shout out to my mother, my sister, and my daughter first, because they are my angel wings. And I represent all the women. I'm state chair of Pennsylvania, and represent women that fight for their rights, to all the members of that NG100 honest and wisdom. And there are 100 countries around the world. Then they fight for justice and to protect each other. And Global Woman, Mirela Sula. So there are so many women. I work with all of them. I know them. I'm one of them. And to every woman that is in this space, thank you for being you. Keep fighting. Keep believing in yourself. We got this. Our kids will have a better future. So thanks to my mother there in heaven that make me who I am today.
Thank you, Donica. Aw, I'm getting chills today, ladies. This is beautiful. Rose, your turn. Who would you? Oh, and Igor, I see you're up next. Go ahead, Rose. Who would you like to shout out today?
Well, first, this organization, because I think it's great what you do every Monday to Empower Yourself Monday, and do it consistently. And I know I was a guest, and see some others who are guests. That's the idea. There's so many women. My thing is building a list of women that are dynamic that we can all follow. But give a shout out to Jennifer Navarrete, who helped me. Was like the event producer for my Woman to Follow, and Andrea Chalupa. If you don't follow her, she's amazing. She talked about Ukraine and the work she's done. And if you follow Move of Marketing, Mariah Howard, she spoke about Web3 and AI, and she was terrific. So maybe that's, I always say name 3 women. So I think that's 3. So Jennifer Navarrete, who's an e-podcaster, Andrea Chalupa, who's at the name as you hear it. She co-hosts the podcast Gaslit Nation. And the third I mentioned is Move of Marketing, Mariah Howard. So give them a follow and just, be generous this month and lift each other up. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Igor, I know you had your hand up. Is there a lady you'd like to shout out today?
Yeah, it's Igor, but yeah, nice to join the space. It's I mean, there's so many women that I can name, but I would have to start with my mom. My mom is kind of my hero. She's incredibly strong, has gone through a lot, but always maintains her composure, and I don't know how she does it, but she's definitely saved my life. I can say that. She's given me life and she saved my life. So I don't really share this publicly, but I'm a physician. I'm in mental health, but she, about let's see, it's 2023. About 3 years ago, she essentially saved my life. Like, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So yeah. So, and then my sister, my younger sister, she's a nurse. So shout out to her. She always says I'm her role model, but actually she's my role model. So I'm really grateful for her. And then I would have to give shout out to my grandmother, who unfortunately is no longer here. I was really close to her. That's my mom's mom. She passed away from Alzheimer's disease in 2019. She was she was my hero. She was incredibly strong and kind, and battled Alzheimer's bravely for 12 years. And yeah, I miss you very much. And so yeah, thanks for the opportunity to share.
And thank you for sharing. Truly, thank you for sharing. It's amazing how powerful these women can be in our lives, honest. Vicky, I see your hand has been up, and then Graciela, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, I'd just like to say to my gran, she was an inspiration to me because I was brought up with her for a few years. So yeah, she was a stepping stone and got me through it. And to Tanya Shum, that woman up there, she's been an inspiration to me. She's like took me under her wing and kind of like led me down whatever path I'm going on. So whatever path, Yeah, but we're here for each other, and that's all that matters. And keep lifting each other up, and keep supporting each other, and keep loving each other. Not enough love in the world, so keep loving each other. I love you guys. Love everybody in the room. So just keep doing what you're doing, and keep being my inspiration. Keep lifting me up. When I get down, I know who to call on. So you guys in the room, thank you.
Love you, Vicky. Love you.
So much love. And yes, everyone here in this room, like, you always have somebody to turn to, because we are always here. We're here for all of you, and you're never alone. Know that in the life. Like, you're never alone. There is always somebody you can reach out to, and particularly with groups like this. And in our last few moments here, Graciela, who would you like to shout out as well?
I would like to shout out my lovely clients. They're going to listen to this. They're some of my biggest supporters. And even though I coach men as well, those are more like content oriented. And the women that I coach are usually in disempowering relationships and trying to really figure out how can I stand up for myself and find my voice. And so I would like to give them a shout out because they work so hard and they try so hard and they're just amazing and they inspire me daily. And of course, every single woman in this panel, everyone that's listening, you all are part of the reason why I remain on this app. Last year, my very first year here, I thought about quitting so many times and just not bothering with Twitter. And you all are part of the reason why I'm still here. So thank you for empowering me and for inspiring me every single day. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to end today by shouting out Tanya and Terry, our incredible board members at AWC South Florida. I want to shout out everyone who's ever been on Empower Yourself Monday with us, and to say thank you to every single one of those women who came on and told their stories and shared and inspired. And a big thank you to all of our members, to all of our past members, and a big shout out to every woman out there who should come on board and be a future member of AWC, because we want to spread the love. We want to empower you. We want you to tell your stories. We want to share our stories and just continue to lift each other up. So again,
Laura, I love you, Laura.
I love it. I know. I love it.
But I asked before we close out, I want to let everyone know what we're planning to do. And I'd love for, especially you two, Rose and Graciela and Donica, and even you, Rachel. And I just built a metaverse. I know everyone who talks about metaverse, but my metaverse is done. It fits 100 people, but it's right now, it's an environment. So if you would like to use it, Gracia, I always talk to her about doing something with her book. I send you a link. I also have the the website, the plugin. So if you want to charge people for it, you can, and it's very simple. And it's you feel like you watch a movie. You can do anything. We can change everything. But it's a conference room that I took a digital twin copy of. I was hired to set up an education event. So it's actually kind of a twin of a Marriott. So it's on my wall and on my file. So I'd love to offer this. So if you want to use it, let me know. I can, and it's right now it's sitting in Spatio, but I'm going to find some other platform. But it's something so we can teach each other and read and share everything. And when you sit, Vicky and I went to a bar in the metaverse and sat and talked to each other. That's how funny it is. So, and it's such a close feeling of being next to each other. So let me know. And Donica, if you want to use that for your classroom, that'd be great, by the way. But thank you everyone for being here. 2023 is going to be great because it's all about empowerment and education. And now we have a space to learn with each other at the same time. And actually you can live stream from there. So we can actually watch a movie, video, talk about something, live stream through all our social network. And again, everyone, this is what it's all about, is to empower each other, lift each other. And International Women's Day is such an important day for all of us. And yes, we need to bring more. And Rose, maybe you can do like we all, because I want to bring a bunch of other women's group together, like the women in Miami also. Because we want to do FemFest, and we want to, and when I finish with the virtual world of that FemFest, we'll do it in person and in the virtual world too. So this way, and also it FemFest, Emily and I talked, and so it's Terry, all three of us, we talked about this. It's not about selling makeup or having a booth. FemFest is going to be about everything that a woman wants to do. So I'm going to have a space for my construction company. My metaverse construction company. So that's what my big thing is for 2033. And again, everyone, thank you so much. And don't forget next year, oh my gosh, next year, April 9th, Women in Communication celebrate 114 years of women empowerment. So with that in mind, I appreciate everyone for being here. And Emily had to take off but I appreciate everyone, and we will be back next Monday. And Wednesday, I'll have a lot of this cut up and snippet. DM me. If anybody wants a tour, let me know. I'll send you the login. So again, everyone have a great day. I appreciate you. Bye, everybody.